Okay, Rugby. Okay, here we go again. Rugby. Daily, I'm trying to do a thing. Rugby. Yay. Skadoosh. Ooh, I'm back. What better time to come back than a Euro Cup weekend when there's like 700 games to cover? And also there was some other news. The first in the deluge was a Friday night banger between the mad lads Clermont and the much more sensible Leicester Tigers. It turned into a bit of a tri-fest with the visiting Tigers hammering Clermont 44 points to 29. It was good to see Pollard back playing well as well. Gloucester hosted Leinster in the first Saturday game, and it went about like all the games against the number one test team in the world these days. Leinster looked bored while racking up almost 50 points against their cherry and white victims. Calls for Leinster to join the Six Nations will only be growing louder. 214 kilometers directly north from Gloucester, the Sale Sharks hosted European giants Toulouse, and they received much the same treatment as their compatriots in Gloucester. 5 points to 27 for Toulouse, and Sale were well and truly dealt with. Toulouse aren't looking as sharp as Leinster, but they are still pretty scary. I expect they will go far. Munster are being carried to new heights by Graham Roundtree's powerful head flaps. Despite being down to 14 men for almost 60 minutes against the Saints from Northampton, they still won by 27 points to 23. This Munster pack under Graham Roundtree is turning into something special. RG Snyman might just make it world class. That's scary. Down south in Durban, a loaded Sharks team took on Bordeaux in front of a healthy crowd. Looks like the cloud of E. coli hanging over visiting teams' heads is gone, replaced by the shadow of Eben and his Bok mates smashing teams to bits. 32 points to 3 for the star-studded Sharks against a, let's say, experimental Bordeaux side. I did not get to see reigning champs La Rochelle take on an out-of-form Ulster, but it seems like it was one of the best low-scoring slugfests in a long time. La Rochelle had to dig ultra deep to win with a nasty pick-and-go try with the clock in the red. 7 points to 3 for the hosts, and heartbreak for Ulster, who are trying to dig themselves out of a hole. I gotta speed this up. There's a lot of news. The Bulls beat Exeter in their return fixture. Slade got a red card and Van Staden got a red nose. Ospreys did the double on French champs Montpellier. That stacked Ospreys side is starting to play to the level of their salary bill. Saracens just whooped Lyon. Shh. I still think the Saracens are a dark horse for this title. The Stormers went to London Irish and beat them easily, especially as Irish were down to 12 or 13 players, something crazy like that. Castre lost at home to Edinburgh. That result giving URC teams a 7 from 8 record in Europe this weekend. Can I get a best league? And finally, Racing 92 hosted the Harlequins in Paris. Both these teams are unhinged, and from the highlights it looks like the game lived up to their reputations. It was a close victory for Racing in the end, making the home fans very happy. Round 3 of the Champions Cup is finished now, and we're starting to see the usual suspects rise to the top. Leinster, La Rochelle, Saracens, the Sharks, the Stormers, and Toulouse are all buoyant, with the Bulls, the Chiefs, and the Tigers nipping at their heels. Fun times. There was also the comedy tournament, that is the Challenge Cup. These are the results from the weekend. Let's not speak of it again. Okay, I know, it looks like I'm kind of rattling off these results. What possible reason could I have for being so curt? Let's start with the big news. Dave Rennie, coach of the Wallabies, has been sacked after 3 hard years, and he's been replaced by Eddie Jones, all in one tweet. The news came out late Sunday evening SA time or early Monday morning. I'm not sure, but people like Paul Williams and Squidge still saw it. Guys, just get a healthy 8 hours, especially on a Sunday night. And now, once again, the rugby world orbits the dense mass that is Eddie Jones. Not even 2 months after being sacked by the RFU for only winning 5 from 12 games in 2022, he's replaced Dave Rennie, who only managed to win 5 from 14 games in 2022. I think if there's any coach in rugby who could win the World Cup with only 10 months prep, it's probably Eddie Jones. But maybe not with Australia. And maybe not with the Gito law either. If the Wallabies want to go deep in the World Cup, I think they need to shed all limitations. What does the World Cup matter anyway? There is this other little cup that's been sitting in New Zealand since 2002, I think. It rhymes with Schmederslow. My first and only interest for Jones's new role is whether he can win back the Bledisloe Cup, something Australia last won 21 years ago when they were coached by, you guessed it, Edward Bartholomew Jones. Anyway, good luck to Mr. Jones and the Wallabies, except against the Boks. I cannot wait to see you coach against England, possibly even in a World Cup quarter-final. Honestly, this is just pure, uncut narrative. I love it. I love it! Okay, calm down, it's hot in here. There was some other news as well, mostly in the form of Six Nations squads. Last week, Italy announced a more and more recognizable squad, with big-name players like Ruzza, Capuozzo and Polledri. No Paolo Garbisi though. Poop. New England coach Borthwick announced his first ever squad, but it does not contain long-serving Billy V. It does, however, contain the most English-looking man ever, Dan Cole. We also got Wales' squad and Scotland's squad, and probably Ireland and France while I'm filming this. Unfortunately, I did not have time to write about any of them. Just assume it would have been funny and extremely insightful. Whew, and that was a bumper first rugby update for this year. I will see you all next week after Townsend's been fired and the husk of Sir Ian McGeechan has been put in his place. Bye.